Hi.
Hi, Georgia.
How are you?
Good. How are you today?
I'm good, thank you. I'm very stressed because there's a lot of clutter around me, but I made myself a seat and I'm ready to do this. And my hair is natural today because I didn't have time to straighten it.
I love it.
Thank you.
Are you moving and stuff?
No, I finally got a double bed back, so I've had to fit everything in, but I had so much in here that now it just doesn't fit anywhere. So I'm trying to fit it all in. But yeah, so I literally wrote these questions up in the last half an hour. There's 15, and they're some of them are what I've thought of myself, some of them are what I've taken from the story that I did. So I'm ready to start whenever you are.
Okay, I'm ready. And hi to everyone in the chat.
So the first one, this one is from Prince, and he said, "What is the best and worst part about living in New York City?"
Oh, I would say the best part is there's always something to do. Like you could go see a Broadway play or see a movie or go to Central Park or there's always free events as well. Lots of people to meet from all over the world. People come here to chase their dreams. So that's cool. But I would say it's a really stressful city to live in. Just being in a place where you always have to just keep grinding, and even commuting is a stress because there's 100 people in the subway car with you going back and forth to work. So yeah, mostly I would say just the environment of stress. That's a big thing. If you're a native New Yorker, I think everyone could agree.
Yeah, you always see the New York setting in a lot of movies. Isn't Coming to America? Is Coming to America set in New York?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, so you see how you can tell how stressful it is. Because no, I couldn't do that. Crowds of people, stressful, doesn't work out for me. Where I live in you can't really say countryside, but we live literally in the middle of nowhere. Just around us is fields.
Oh,
so it's,
wow.
And it's not too stressful. So I don't live anywhere near London, thank God. But yeah, I would love to live in New York, and I know that a lot of my friends do too.
Yeah.
So how does it feel to visit MJ locations?
It's really, really fun, and depending on the location, you feel like the spirit of Michael. I don't know how to explain it, but I really felt that when I went to Brazil. That was my biggest video, really, in terms of travel, visiting the place where Michael filmed the They Don't Care About Us Brazil version. And so I felt really, really I felt Michael's spirit, and I felt really connected to the message, just being there and being around all the people of Brazil. So that was really cool. And yeah, there are some places that are not really intact anymore, that are kind of like a dumpster now or painted over. So those places are not as exciting, to be honest.
I can't remember whose video it was, but he showed the location of where Off the Wall, the album cover, was taken. And it's just an alleyway. There's no plaque. There's nothing there to say, this is where Off the Wall was taken. It's just a wall behind a dumpster.
Yeah.
And I really wish these places were recognized more. Even the street where they filmed the Thriller video, I don't think there's any plaque or anything there to say this is where Thriller was filmed. And there's such places.
It would be great if there were something, because it's kind of hard to find, and that's one of the reasons why I made my book project last year, was to put all of that in one place, so that any fan that wanted a quick resource to be able to go to those locations could find it. So
see, in the UK we don't really have any MJ locations particularly. We have Harrods. We knew that he liked Harrods, and that's it really. There's nothing else really here. We have Wembley and stuff like that, but locations as such, you went to the where Bad was filmed and everything, there's nothing like that over here, which sucks. Okay, when did you become a Michael Jackson fan?
I became a fan when I was probably around 9 or 10, around then. I was watching the Jackson's American Dream movie, which was always on, and I just fell in love with the actor Wiley Draper, who played the adult Michael there, and discovered the song Human Nature. And then from there, I just was on it, trying to figure out everything I could about Michael. So it's been about 20 years. I saw someone ask in the chat how old I am, and I'm 33. So,
Look it.
ah, thank you.
You look about 24.
Oh, yay! Oh, thanks.
No
But
worries.
I was 14 when I saw Michael live.
Yes, that's one of the questions I've got, actually. That's the last question I've got. Okay. So what are your future plans to do with MJ? Like, are you planning to do another like book, or are you planning to do anything else?
I'm thinking of a way that I can create a community where we can all come together, because that's one of the things that I loved about Michael Jackson is how many people I've gotten to meet. I've gotten to meet you, Georgia, and so many people that are in the chat, and some of my closest friends, Gadget Trish. So I would like to create a sense of community. Project.
Yeah, like, we are a very, very close-knit fandom, and I know that. It's like we all know everyone. Like, I'm pretty sure I know all of the dancers here on Instagram. I'm pretty sure if someone said, have you heard of this person? I'd be like, yeah, I know who he is, or she is, or they are. And it's such close-knit, and like sometimes we can be, you know, a little bit toxic sometimes. But other than that, I think we're just a very close-knit family, and that's how Michael liked to see us. So I think that's a really good idea, and I can't wait to see you do that. What do you do outside of YouTube?
So outside of YouTube, I'm a marketing professional doing digital content marketing. So that kind of goes along with all what I do with the MJ Fangirl brand. But yeah, I've been working in the beauty industry for about 10 years now.
Wow. I didn't know that. That's so cool. Wow. The more you know about someone. Okay. Other than Michael Jackson or the Jackson 5 or any member of the Jackson family, who are you a fan of?
I mean, I do love Janet. I have seen her in concert 3 or 4 times. And, but I would say I'm a fan of the whole Jackson family. Like, I really, really love them. I was just listening to the Sirius XM radio station, and they had like an hour with the Jackson brothers, and they had Marlon and Tito and Jackie talking about different things and growing up and their different like experiences as a part of the Jackson 5 and stuff. So it was really, really cool. So anything like that where it's the original Jackson 5 brothers talking, I think I tend to like love.
Yeah. So. I love the Jacksons, and then the Jackson 5. All of that is like my thing. The whole family. You can't go wrong. You know, you have the Jackson 5, which is, you know, 70s to early 80s music. Well, Jacksons as well, obviously. And then you have TJ, who is producing music modern, but it's like 80s style. And you can't go wrong with the entire Jackson family. Like, even Jafar Jackson is releasing some good music. Like, I listened to his song Confused, and at first I was like, this is such a unique way of singing, but I love it. All of the Jacksons have talent, and I love it so much. Where do you see yourself in the next 10 years?
Well, in the next 10 years, I would love to be still doing my channel, but I would love to be hopefully, you know, spreading Michael Jackson's legacy and his memory on a larger scale. Some of my goals are to be at fan conventions. Hopefully those are their events that we'll have, or speaking on a panel, like an academic panel about Michael Jackson. Because, you know, it's not just, my channel is a lot of fun, and I love doing like the reaction videos and all that, but my passion really lies in talking about his achievements and accomplishments that a lot of people forget about, because Michael Jackson has done so much in his career that it's easy to just focus on one era or one thing as like his accomplishment. Meanwhile, he's done so much. So I would love to be in a position where, you know, I could be on it, whether it's a television program or a fan event or something where I can speak about Michael Jackson on a larger scale.
Yeah. So one thing I respect about you is the amount of content that you can release to do with Michael Jackson. You know, it's going to get very limited soon for me with what I can do with makeup. And like, you release all this stuff, and I'm like, how do you think of this? Like, there is such limited things that you can do with one person, but I guess with Michael Jackson there is so much you can do, and that's what I respect you for, because you've been doing YouTube for how long now?
It's got to be almost 3 years. I started in 2018, I think.
Exactly, and you never fail to release good content. It's not like, oh, it's just something small to do with Michael, you know, it's kind of a filler. No, like every video has a meaning and point to it, and that's what I love. Like, because my YouTube isn't specifically pointed at Michael, but recently most of the videos have been. And already I'm running out of ideas, but yours, I'm always, every time, I'm just like, oh my God, I would never have thought to do a video like that.
Aw, thank you. I'm so excited about Michael. So like anything that comes out about him, I'm like, oh, I want to do this. Like I have so many ideas still. And it's cool because I interact with so many fans and like subscribers of fans of Michael and subscribers of mine, and we're always exchanging ideas. So it's a lot of fun.
Yeah, definitely. What's your favorite era? Oh no.
I would like to say that I like kind of well, I'll keep talking because oh, there you are. That's okay. Okay, so my favorite era is Dangerous, and then I also love like my years, so like 1976, 75. Like I love those solo Motown years where he was like still singing Motown songs but solo. Those are two cool like transitional periods in his career, I think.
Definitely. I love you know, is it Victory going into sort of like Thriller era? He has this look to him that's just like, oh, he looks so unique, and it's different to the other eras, and you can't really put him in a category because it's in between. But I think he looks amazing there, and especially the pictures on the cover, on the inside of the Victory vinyl, he looks so good, and he looks happy, because, you know, I think in later you know, like History, he starts to, the songs get deeper and a lot more meaning to them. But with, you know, Thriller and Victory, the music is just fun, and you want to get up and you want to dance. But then when you look at like History, you have songs like They Don't Care About Us, and you have songs like Will You Be There on Dangerous, and they're such meaningful songs. So I'm definitely one who would like to get up and dance to songs from like Thriller, Victory.
Yeah.
So I definitely agree with you there, because they're the get up and dance songs in my opinion. So I agree with you. What's your favorite Michael Jackson outfit?
I would like to say that I like the 93 Grammy Legend Award acceptance speech outfit. So for anybody in the chat that might not know, he had black pants, black gloves, and a white jacket. And it was like a white jacket with like pearls and different embellishments. That was like my favorite.
LaToya actually said that he's in his casket in that jacket.
Yes. Okay. I'm glad you said this, because I said this to somebody and then they were like, no, that's not true. I don't know where they got that from, but I think Michael Bush also said that's what he was wearing.
I can't remember who asked LaToya, because I think somebody said to her, is he wearing one glove? And she said, well, I actually picked out his outfit, and the jacket I chose was the pearl one. And I also know that he's wearing a locket around his neck that Paris also wore the day of his funeral. So he has a locket on his joint with Paris's. But other than that, I don't know what else he's wearing. I don't know if he has one glove on. I don't know if he has the sparkly socks. I just know that he's wearing that white jacket with the pearls and that locket from Paris.
Yeah.
It's such a gorgeous jacket, and it definitely stands out. I think my favorite outfit that he's worn is the one that Lady Gaga purchased. It's the black one with the beautiful silver brooch right here. I just think it's gorgeous and so fitting.
That's from the presidential something he went to, right?
Yes. Okay. What is your favorite piece of Michael Jackson merch that you own?
That's a hard question, because I have stuff that I love, I would say it would be a tie between one of my jackets. I have a Victory Tour jacket and I have a Captain EO jacket. Like original Triumph. I think I like a lot of shirts. And also I want to show you guys who's on the chat. One of my best and closest friends just got me this. Shout out to Trish. She just got me this for my birthday. After quarantine, we hadn't seen each other in a while. So I think this is like my new actual favorite item.
Oh my goodness.
Pretty nice, right?
Didn't BG or Blanket, didn't he, aren't there pictures of him holding that at Michael's funeral, that doll?
Yes, I think it was this exact doll, yeah.
Yes. Wow, that's so cool. I didn't have a doll yet. Like, I'm such a huge collector and I don't have a doll yet. That's surprising to me.
I love this one. There's also one in the back, it says that it sings. There's a singing one too.
Jealous.
So yeah.
But that's so cool. What advice do you have for any Michael Jackson collector?
I would have to say that collect what means something to you. Because if you go out and you just get items because it's supposed to be something that you think you should have, you're just going to let it sit on the shelf. One example of that is the Opus. I got the Opus when I was grieving and so upset. And I love it, and I'm happy that I have it, but I have not opened it more than 5 times in my life, and one of them was to film a video to show you guys for YouTube. So I would recommend to get what means a lot to you. Like, otherwise, like I said, it's just going to sit on the shelf, and then what does it really mean then?
Exactly.
But I'm different than a lot of collectors, Georgia, because a lot of people like to keep their stuff pristine, and I'm, like, not that person. I'm like, ooh, Michael puzzle from the 80s. Like, I got 2 MJ puzzles from the 80s sealed and opened them and, like, played around and did them. Yeah. So, yeah.
Yeah. The main reason I haven't bought the Opus, I would love it, but the main reason I haven't bought the Opus is, to me, personally, I think it would be a waste of money because I think I would be too protective of it to get it out and look through it. You know, I'm like that with the cast. I don't get it out that often, and I'm so happy to have it. But I don't get it out that often because I'm scared that I will damage it, because my friend back in October, she wanted to look at it and she was looking at it and she was like, oh, this is so cool, this is Michael Jackson's face, and you could tell that she wanted to be careful with it, but she put it back on the shelf and it knocked the top of the shelf and he's got a massive dent in his forehead. No. And it broke my heart, and obviously I couldn't blame her though. So I'm very gentle with what I buy, and if I know it's going to be a waste of money, whether I want it or not, I won't buy it because I'm scared that it won't be used or taken care of properly. So maybe in the future I will get the Opus, but right now, 1, I have no room for it. 2, I just know that I will never get it out because I'll want to protect it too much. And
yeah. I don't
why pay all that money for it to sit on the shelf?
Exactly. You're right. Mine is sitting in the closet, but also I get it. I think, you know what, that's something that to have when you have like a big house in your own space and a huge room where you can just set it out and then have it there.
Yes.
Because even me, I'm like, you know, I'm in a small space as well, and it's in my closet. So anyway, you had a question.
You went to Hector Barjot's Michael Jackson collection, and I don't speak French, but I watch his videos. I don't care if you have subtitles or not. I watch those videos because I am so intrigued. And where does he find this stuff? Like, I am on eBay 24/7 looking for stuff. I'm on websites and everything, and he has some of the rarest things I've seen, things I've never even heard of. Like, yeah. So what was that like? So is it in his house or is it a garage? Like, where is it?
Well, it's in France. I don't know if I'm allowed to say because I know he keeps it very private. So yeah. I'll just say it's in France, near Paris. And you know, I went to go there. I got to go there with Gadget Trish. And we visited him, and he and Mrs. Hector, who you've seen on his channel, I'm sure, were super nice. And they showed us around the whole collection. And I think Hector has been collecting probably since like the 90s or the early I don't know, maybe 80s even. And I know a lot of people send him stuff.
Yeah.
A lot of people reach out when they have rare things, and then they say, hey, do you guys, I mean, would you use it? And I think he does, you know, he takes it like that. But yeah, I don't know how he's got all that stuff. It's amazing what he's done with that room.
Because I'm friends with his friend Feifei, and even Feifei, I asked Feifei about the collection as well. I just think that if I owned that, I don't think I could ever complain about anything again, because I love the shelf that I have over here with my collection on it. And sometimes I look at it and I'm just so proud of it. Hector must be one proud man. One proud man.
Yeah, I mean, and it's all displayed in such a nice way. His is like, I'll tell you, there are 3 people that impress me with their collections. 1 is him, amazing. 2 is my MJ World in Japan, in Tokyo. Yes. And then 3 is Renee, who just got married. And I'll be posting my video. Gadget Trish just posted her video, but her and her husband just came up with their own like museum, and it's beautiful.
Yeah, I remember being introduced to Vinay probably 9-10 months ago. The guy who makes all the canvases in my room, she's actually in his group, so she said, I think you're going to love her collection. So he introduced me to her, and she was so happy to show me pictures of her collection. And she showed me the video of her when she spoke to Michael for that split second. And then she invited me to one of our barbecues. And I was like, do you know what? I would love to come, but I'm in England. I'm so sorry. And she didn't realize. She was like, oh, I'm so sorry. I didn't realize. And I was like, no, I genuinely appreciate the invite. But her barbecues and her parties and her collection, that's amazing. And genuinely, people who can be so committed to something like that, I have so much respect for. Definitely. Yeah. Oh, sorry, were you going to say something?
No, I was just saying, yeah, I agree.
So what song that Michael has done that doesn't have a music video do you wish had a music video?
I'm going to say Lady in My Life, Lady in My Life or Break of Dawn.
Wow, see, mine's Tabloid Junkie, just because I'd see how he, you know, would make a video from that. And also, I feel like Dangerous deserves a music video.
True,
you know,
it
like
does.
He has a whole album based around like just the name, and there's no music video for it. And sometimes people think that the performance is the video. You know, each performance that he did with it is technically the music video. But sometimes you just sit there and wonder, what would the real music video look like? And that's why Tabloid Junkie is always one that I wished had a music video.
Yeah, I think that would have been really cool, like you're saying, to see like all the visuals with the newspapers and all that. And yeah, it would have been cool for sure.
When I picture a music video for Tabloid Junkie, I picture certain scenes from Leave Me Alone, because Leave Me Alone shows a few articles and everything. So that's what I picture it would look like. But I think it would be such a powerful music video, and I think that we needed it, but it never happened, and it never will.
I know.
It sucks.
So many songs I wish we had stuff for too.
Yeah, like we know the estate has got some things that they're not releasing, and that sucks too.
Yeah.
Because, you know, I don't know where I read this, and I don't know how true it is, but apparently they have enough unreleased music to make 10 more albums. I don't know how true that is, but I read it somewhere. And if that's true, then why are they holding back? Why are they not?
I've heard that too, but I've also heard them say, so I've heard that when Michael first died, that's what was said.
Yeah.
But I also think that they have really realized with releasing things, you also have to maintain the integrity of Michael and what he would have wanted. And I think they also have said that they don't want to release stuff that's unreleased, because otherwise Michael would have released it. So yeah. I think they've come to learn that. I think in the beginning when they released Michael album, which we're not going to talk about, and Escape, that they realized like, okay, we got to make sure we hold ourselves accountable to the standard that Michael would have wanted. And that's why I think they haven't released it. And although I would love new music and all that, I really would prefer new footage.
Yeah,
that's what I would prefer. So even if we never get a new Michael Jackson song again, I'm just like, give me the unreleased footage and outtakes of every music video, and I'll be happy.
Yes, literally. I I remember when the estate donated all that money to COVID-19, the charity for that. I remember everyone was so shocked, like, oh, this is the first good thing they've done in a while. Like, now they can do more good things. But I think people looked at it the wrong way. Like, they didn't have to give money, and they did. And I don't think it deserved the, oh, wow, look what they've done. I think it deserved a, this is what Michael would have wanted.
Yeah.
And that wasn't the way it was looked at. And that's what I hate about some elements of the MJ community. We look at things the wrong way sometimes.
Right.
But at the end of the day, Michael would have done it. The estate did it. That's all that matters. Whether they're a bit, you know, secretive about what they have and what they haven't got, they still donated that money that they didn't need to donate. And we have to praise them for that, which I did. A lot of people didn't, but I did.
Yeah, no, I think it's great. And one of the other things to anyone in the chat that's watching too is that I think it's important for all of us as MJ fans to be informed about the estate and some of these decisions. Because like you said, Georgia, they don't have to, but it is a stipulation in Michael's will that 10%, I think, or just a small percentage of every proceed goes to charity. So the estate is bound to that by contract.
Yes.
And whether they talk about it or not, I believe in my heart that the money is not only going to themselves. It is going to Prince, to Paris, to Catherine. You know, I know that they were paying for Joe Jackson while he was alive to live. So there are things, you know, we can get mad about the music and stuff, but there's also MJ1 in Vegas. There's also the Broadway show. There's also Hot Topic, which they license Michael's image. So there are a lot of things that I think we have to be more fair and balanced about when we talk about the estate in general in the MJ community.
I think that the estate, in my opinion, needs more merch on the website. Like, I know that they've just released some, and that was exciting for me. I remember thinking, oh my god, they've just released merch. It was more aimed for History 25, which I'm not complaining about because History is my favorite album, not era album. I didn't think that the design of it was the best it could have been, but they released something and I was happy about that. Yeah. But merch-wise, I want more. Because over here, we have a store called HMV, and Michael was huge in there. You know, you'd look everywhere and you'd see Michael. You'd see these huge posters and these shirts and mugs, badges, pins, everything. And I went in there a few weeks ago and all I could find was vinyls. And so I said to the store manager, do you have anything Michael Jackson that isn't a CD, cassette, or vinyl? And he just sort of laughed at me and said, no. And so I was confused. I was like, but he was the 80s. He was an icon.
Right.
And all he could say to me is, we don't carry MJ products anymore. And I was shocked. I wanted to know why. And it's the same with Primark over here. They don't do Michael Jackson stuff anymore. They used to have the official shirts, and my badge shirt is from Primark. And when I asked the lady in there a few months ago, she did the same thing. It was like she was judging me for asking. She was just like, no, we don't do Michael Jackson stuff anymore.
Wow.
And it sucks to see that, because you see, you know, sections of these stores and you see David Bowie and you see Freddie Mercury, Queen, Prince, but no Michael. And it's like, come on, really? He is music, in my opinion. He is the definition of music. And for people to literally judge you for asking if they hold any MJ products is how bad the media has made Michael look. And that's why he's controlled.
I agree with you. I hope that turns around in some fashion in the next few years, because Michael's fan base is ever growing. So, yeah,
definitely. I love seeing so many young fans. Like, I get people come up to me saying, "Oh, I'm so happy to see such a young fan being so dedicated to Michael Jackson." But I see people younger than me. You know, I see 11-year-olds, 12-year-olds, 13-year-olds loving Michael Jackson, and that's what I love seeing. And I do love also being a young fan, because I get to grow up with it. I know, like, when you're young, like with you grew up with it too, but I think nowadays it's different, because we have things that you guys didn't. Because if you remember back to my interview with Ben, he said, you've got it so easy. You can Google a picture of Michael and it comes up. Back when I was young, it was so hard to find this footage of Michael. It was so hard to find a certain picture. If you didn't have the book, you probably weren't going to find the picture. Now, you can find it on Instagram. And that's what I love being about a young fan in 2020. Minus the people judging part sometimes. But other than that, I like being a young fan in 2020.
Yeah, it's great. I'm glad you're enjoying it too.
Definitely. Okay. This is a random one. Do you have a bucket list?
Like in general or Michael related?
Just in general.
I don't know that I have a bucket list. I mean, there are places that I would love to go. Like, I'd love to go to, like, visit different countries and have new experiences, but nothing that comes to mind right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't have, like, a list of stuff that I want to do.
I want to do a video, a whole YouTube video for my bucket list, because I wrote a bucket list in 2016, and I'm ticking things off that bucket list almost every month now. And I want to do a video explaining, you know, how these things happened. I remember ticking my get merch thing off my bucket list the other day, and I was like, oh my goodness, like, I have merch. Back in 2016, never did I think it was going to happen, but I put it there because it was a dream of mine. And now I have it. And also, I do have one of your stickers coming my way.
Oh, yay! Thank you.
We have to support each other, you know?
Yeah.
And I fell in love with it. And it's the one that says, like, the girl is, and then it's mine, dangerous. I thought it was so clever. I had to. I just had to.
Thank you. Someone actually I asked for ideas a long time ago, and there was somebody that put that in the question box, and I was like, oh, I'm going to make a shirt. So hopefully if they're watching or if they ever see the merch, they'll like it too.
Yeah, I think it's brilliant. And your stuff is so uniquely designed. I remember when I released mine, it was very quick. I didn't really think it through. But all your stuff is so unique, and I really, really like it. And as soon as I get paid more, I'm buying more. Definitely.
Oh, thank you.
No worries. Okay, and this is the last question. Describe the Madison Square Garden performance.
Oh, okay. So I went to see Michael on September 10th, 2001. Right, yeah, 2001. And it was a good performance. It was a good experience. It was like my second concert ever. We were there from like, I think 7 until 11 p.m. almost, or 11:30, because that's how long it took in between people, like artists.
Yeah.
They would have whatever, Shaggy, Whitney Houston, Britney Spears, like whoever was on. I don't remember the exact people because it is a long time ago too.
Yeah.
But whoever was on, and then they would have like a 10-minute break or 30-minute break between that and the Jacksons, and then 45 minutes between the Jackson set and Michael's set. So it was good. I remember some of the most electrifying moments were seeing the Jacksons perform live together for the first time, because as growing up, I was a big J5 fan, and the Jacksons coming back together, that was like a big thing, because I don't think they'd performed together since like the Victory Tour. So that was cool, and I was way up in the back, but my dad and I ran down a few flights and were like in the second section above the floor to see that performance. We kind of just stood by the railings and watched. Another cool moment I'll always remember is Michael, when he did The Way You Make Me Feel, he has that silhouette in front of him, that big sheet. And I remember, because my seat was actually technically in back of the stage.
Yeah.
And I saw him behind the sheet, and I thought that that was the coolest thing, because I'd never seen him actually behind there doing the moves. So that was cool to see him. He was like up on a little stool doing the moves, and then the sheet came down, and then he jumped down and started the performance. So that's my biggest and best memory.
That's amazing. See, they did a hologram show with Whitney Houston, didn't they? I feel like if they did something like that with Michael, those tickets would sell out. It would be like the This Is It we didn't get, you know?
Yeah.
Like the music video to Slave to the Rhythm, something like that. That's all we need. That's all we need. And those tickets would sell out. And I think it would be an opportunity for the youngsters as well, because there's always going to be Michael Jackson fans no matter what. It's not like someone who was, yeah, he was all right back then, but now it's like, because I get a lot about that about Elvis. My mum was a huge Elvis Presley fan, but how often is it you see kids growing up to be a die-hard Elvis fan, or Frank Sinatra, or things like that? But with Michael, you're always going to have Michael Jackson fans, so they might as well do it.
Yeah, it's so true. Michael is really, sorry, my phone almost fell. Michael is really someone that I think a lot of people look up to as kids, and then we just never grow out of it. So
definitely. Yeah. So this isn't a question I've got down, but I want to ask it. Where were you and what happened the day you found out Michael Jackson died?
Oh, I was at a friend's house and we were planning on going to, I think it was the Modern Museum of Art or something. And we had talked even about going to London together to see This Is It, because I had some MJ friends at the time and we had talked about going together, but I didn't have tickets or anything. It was very open up in the air. And then we were just hanging out. The art museum was closed because it was like a Wednesday, and I think it was a Wednesday or a Thursday, and I didn't know. And so we just ended up sitting at home and then watching TV. And then I saw a little like news clip of Michael Jackson was rushed to the hospital with, you know, whatever, I think a heart attack or something, or stroke or something. And I was like, oh, damn, that's crazy. But I was like, oh, I didn't ever think he was going to die, you know? So I was just like, wow, that's crazy. And then a few minutes later, a friend of mine who lived in California and her roommate worked at TMZ or something called and was crying on the phone. And I was like, why are you crying? And I was like, do you know who you're talking to? It's me. And then he was just like, yeah, we have to pray for Michael because it's not looking good. And then that's how I found out. And, you know, it was really like a whirlwind because, you know, being at my friend's house, then I was like, my friends were like, no, we went to like a sports bar and we went to like go get like chicken wings and stuff. Cause you know, at the sports bar, they're always playing sports. They're playing ESPN. They're not talking about Michael Jackson at all. But then when I went home at night, it was just the saddest thing. Cause I've got all these posters on my wall and Michael pillow on my bed and everything. And just having to face that was just so devastating. So
how old were you when that happened?
2009, so like 20, I don't even remember. This is so bad. 22 or something?
Wow.
Michael died 10 years ago, 11 basically, right? So 22 or 23.
See, I was 5 and I remember that day like it was yesterday.
Oh.
I remember back then my bedroom was at the front of the house and it was just a small little room. And I was actually drawing the Moonwalker cover on the VHS. And it's such a coincidence that I was doing that. I was drawing that. And my dad was on the computer in the kitchen. And I remember he must have seen the news on the computer. And he said, Michael Jackson's died. And to me, it echoed throughout the house.
Oh.
And I remember coming downstairs, not really understanding, because at the end of the day, I was only 5. And I was like, what do you mean dead? He shouldn't die. He's too young. I didn't understand.
Yeah.
And I remember my mum just saying, well, no, he's gone now. He has died. And for so long, I just kept convincing myself that it wasn't possible because in my eyes, there was no reason for him to die. I thought that when you died, you either, this is a harsh way of putting it, you either got murdered or you were old age. That was my interpretation of dying back then, so I didn't understand.
Right.
I remember, you know, Mum was like, do you want to go to McDonald's? It's okay, we can cheer you up. And I didn't want any of that because I didn't understand. And we were gonna go to This Is It, and I remember asking a few weeks later, when are we going to This Is It? And my mum had to sit me down again and explain that to me, that we couldn't go because he was gone. And that's something that has stuck with me for so long. And, you know, for so long, I've grown up to people knowing that I'm a Michael Jackson fan. People knew. No one ever had an issue with it. But this time last year, back in school, Leaving Neverland came out, and suddenly everyone had an issue with me. And just people used it as my weakness, and they used it against me. And I was put down. I was very lonely and very to myself. because I felt like no one wanted to speak to me, and which they didn't at the time. And you know, I still get people today who are just like, you're a Michael Jackson fan, but you know, now I've learned to say, so what? Because if it wasn't for Michael Jackson, I wouldn't be where I am now. I wouldn't have the contact with TJ. I wouldn't have those followers, and those followers, 80% of them are Michael Jackson fans.
Wow.
Oh god.
Yeah, I'm so glad. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
I think we got it. Sorry,
Okay.
I think my connection like disconnected for a minute.
No, it's okay. I was gonna say I'm so glad that you came to that point, because I think a lot of us horror fans have been through it, whether it's when Leaving Neverland came out, or in the 2003 trial, or even 93. Like, you know, it's always a never-ending thing, and people always try to shame Michael Jackson's fans for being there for him and believing in him. But it's also like, it's a great place to be as a Michael Jackson fan once you realize that the opinions of those outside people don't matter, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm so glad that you got to that point too.
Yeah, I think the main reason I just brought that up is because I've as you were speaking a second ago about where you were when Michael died, someone came up in the live stream who I actually knew from school, and he just started saying things, and I've just had to come out. It's like, still today, I've moved on, but people are still carrying on, you know? But
Yeah.
I don't let it get to me anymore. I try not to anyway. But I think the best advice I can give to someone who here is, if you are being bullied by someone who uses Michael Jackson as a weakness against you, I know it's hard, but try and ignore. Because if you let it get to you, it is going to get to you. And that's what it did to me for so long. So I think just at the end of the day, let it go through one ear and come out the other. Because you are your own person. They have their interests, you have yours. That's
right. Yeah, I agree. Amen to that.
Yes. So I have all the questions that I wanted to ask done.
Okay.
If you have any questions you want to ask me, you can go ahead.
Well, first of all, thank you for doing this. This is exciting. I wonder, like, okay, so I wanted to ask you, how are you feeling about all this stuff going on with TikTok, and what are your plans going forward? Are you planning on still staying there? Are you moving to Reels with Instagram?
So I know that if TikTok is banned in America, I've worked out that I will lose 70,000 followers.
Wow.
And to me, number isn't a thing, not at all. So that doesn't bother me. But at the moment, TikTok is a place where certain things are shown on that main explore page. And if you don't do the right thing, you're not going to get the attention from TikTok. And that's what I hate. And I don't want to stick around that, because I just think that TikTok is also really bad for self-image as well. I come across videos, you know, of people like putting themselves down, and people think it's personal, and I don't like it there sometimes. I actually really don't. And so I don't want to stay as long as I wanted to. I think that I'm going to start easing off TikTok. But I do have a large family there, so I'm not going to completely go, because I do have people there that do support me and everything. But I also have people here on Instagram, and like I said, number doesn't matter. So if TikTok goes, I'm fine with it. If it stays, I'm fine with it.
Right. Okay. Well, I'm glad at least you are going to be okay no matter what, you know, because immediately when I heard the news here, I was like, oh no, what about Georgia, you know? So I'm glad you're going to be, and you've built your platform here and then on YouTube and stuff too. So no matter what, you'll be good. We can still find you.
Perfect. No, if I'm on YouTube, if I'm on Instagram, if I'm on TikTok, it doesn't matter. As long as I'm making content that I enjoy and that other people enjoy, that's all that matters.
Yeah, right on. I agree.
Hey, so are you okay to wrap this up?
Yeah. Thanks everyone for joining. Hey. Thanks, Georgia, for doing it.
No worries. It was really nice speaking to you. I'm gonna upload this to YouTube if that's okay with you.
Yeah, for sure.
Perfect. Okay, it was really nice speaking to you, and I hope that you have a really good day because it's only like what, 4 o'clock for you now?
Yeah, it's just almost 4, so.
Yeah, well, it's like 9 o'clock for me now, and I've got this room to do.
Oh
So,
my. Okay, good
but
luck with the room.
thank you, and I hope you have a good day.
Thanks, you too. Bye.
Bye.